Hi everyone, welcome back to Brown Dad Garage. This is our third video, and I really wanted to expand on our previous video, which was essential power tools and hand tools homeowners should have. Today's video is going to be more focused on electrical tools that every homeowner should have, whether that's electrical hand tools or diagnostic tools. We're going to go over what they're used for and how to use them, especially. And one of the biggest things that I would say every homeowner should have is a multimeter. This is a Klein's tool multimeter that I've had for ages, and it's served me very well. So when you're getting this right out of the box, these are going to be unplugged usually. And what you want to do is take the black cord, plug it into the common port, take the red plug and plug it into the volts omega section, which is right here. You don't really need to plug it into the 10 amp section. We'll talk about that some other time. And this is the most common way individuals use multimeters. Now, as a homeowner, you're going to be testing batteries, outlets, car batteries, different sensors. Maybe you'll test your remote, who knows. But I would say when you're using this, always remember AC volts is this V with the squiggly line. DC volts is this V with a straight line. When do you use them? So when you're using AC volts, that's more used for household wiring. Think about that, like large amounts of volts, 125 coming from your 220 coming from your outlets. Maybe you're measuring, a wire that's frayed or something like that. You would want to put it on AC volts right here. DC volts is more to measure batteries. So if you put it right here, DC volts, you take your two ends right here, positive, and then your ground or negative. So what you're going to do, so I have this Ryobi battery. Let's test it out. So you can see here, it shows you what's the positive and negative, so you know where to put them. So let's put the red on the positive, minus on the black on the negative. And you can see here, it's reading 19.47 DC volts. So that's how you can test a battery out. And for another way individuals use a multimeter is to test resistance or ohms. So that symbol is indicated right here. I call it upside down horseshoe, or I think this is the omega symbol. Now, if you put that on there, this comes in really handy to measure sensors, and it's got different increments right here as well. So I've measured sensors like for cars, for example, right? Like a crankshaft sensor. You have three ends, and or two ends, and you plug them in, and it measures. It's really used to find breaks or shorts in electricity, especially testing sensors or resistors, and it's used to check the continuity flow of a circuit. So that's the best way I would describe this. And it really helps troubleshoot your issues. And if you test it, you can see if something has an issue or not. Now, there's another way to check resistance, and that is a continuity check. So that's really done by right here, this symbol. I guess when you really use that is people like to hear that it has resistance. For example, if I put it on this Wi-Fi symbol and touch these, you can hear that noise. That comes in handy, especially when you're in a tight spot or you're underneath your car or testing, a sensor. You're not able to look at the screen. You can see if there's a continuity. Those are the biggest ways to measure with a multimeter, and the most simplest things to do. Obviously, the multimeter is used for other issues as well, but that's what I can think of. And this is a very important tool to have in your toolbox. The next electrical tool, if you don't have one of these and you just want a simple, cheap tool to test voltage, is right here. This is a voltage tester pen. These are really cheap. You can find them anywhere. And it's really meant to kind of like wave over wires that you have plugged in and you want to double check. I would say a good scenario for this is, you're down and you're down in your basement, you turn the circuit breaker off, but you're not sure if something has electricity. You can grab one of these pens and essentially wave it across the wire like so. There we go. Let me show you guys 1 second. So this wire is plugged in and kind of have to like get it a certain way. Oh, there we go. So it's saying that this has electricity. It does have electricity. It's plugged in. But sometimes these can be unreliable, so I wouldn't trust these 100%. But this is a quick way of doing that. You can kind of have to move it around, but it tells you if it has electricity. See? Turn that off. The third tool that I would recommend every homeowner has is if you are unsure, for example, where the circuit breaker is, or the certain breaker is to turn off a outlet. They make tools like this nowadays, so you can essentially plug this transmitter in the wall, and you can push this to check if it's working, and it'll give you different test results for different issues. These two kind of go hand in hand, so when you plug this in, you can turn this on, for example, like that, and you can wave it around. You have 20 to 30 circuit breakers. You can essentially put this on a breaker and it'll follow the flow of electricity and tell you which one it is. And this is good. It's great. I've had sometimes false readings from it, but it does work. And this has helped me a lot, especially if you don't have someone to help you out and you have to go downstairs and upstairs and downstairs and upstairs. This is a good tool to have under your belt. Now, again, it comes with an instruction manual how to use this. Is very self-explanatory, and there's different steps. I'm not going to dive deep into this, but it comes in handy. Just put these off to the side. So other tools that I would have underneath your belt, electrical wise, is a wire stripper. I like this Doyle set from Harbor Freight because it acts as a wire stripper and pliers instead of those like small ones. Now, how you use this is essentially, I have a wire right here. I can show you. 1 second. So here's a wire. You can essentially grab it, cut it, right, like that. And how you would strip the wires is you would essentially, it's got different markings on here. You kind of want to go close to the size that the wire is. For example, right there, I believe this is either a 14 or a 12 gauge. So go like that. You see how that stripped it really easily? That's why I like these. They're a little bit longer and easier to strip. But yeah, that's one of the wires. And these are a very handy tool to have. These also have a lifetime warranty from Harbor Freight, so it's a good tool to have. If you break it, you can go replace it. Now, second hand tool, I would say, is a pair of crimpers. The reason why this is important is because, you'll have, as a homeowner, lawnmowers, battery terminals from your car, or something that's messed up and you need to essentially cut and you need to reattach a terminal to, this is where this comes in handy. So here I have a bunch of terminal connectors. Again, you can get these for really cheap. It has different connectors that you would use. Examples, for example, you have, you know, battery terminal connectors. You have, you know, if you have a frayed wire, you need to cut in between them and you need to splice it. That's where this comes in. So essentially, you take your wire, right, and you put one end in here, like so. Put that in there. You grab your crimper, take it, crimp it right there. See, now that's crimped. And you would take your, for example, if it's you have a frayed wire, you would take your other end, right, and you would put it like that in there, and you would crimp it again. That's where this would come in handy. Or, for example, using battery terminals, like if you have a lawnmower battery terminal that's messed up, you can use this. This is not the exact same size for a lawnmower terminal, but that it gives you the general gist of things. Just cut this again. So again, this is how you use a stripper. Oops, see, that's a 14 gauge. There we go. So those are hand tools. I would also recommend individuals get a box of wire twisters. This will last you a really long time. I had to actually refill this recently. But, you know, as a homeowner, you're going to be changing fixtures, outlets, and these wire twisters come in handy because you'll have multiple wires you need to twist together. Or you can get one of these as well, which is really good in tight spaces. This is push-in wire connectors, 4-terminal push-in wire connectors. So what you essentially would do is you would take your wires, and let's say you have a fixture and you need to connect the 2 ground wires together. Instead of using this, or if you need to connect the black wire, instead of using a wire twist where you're using three wire twisters in a small little box, you can use this one instead for your ground, neutral, or hot. These do come in handy in tight spaces. Now, I would also recommend everyone buying a set of alligator clips. This was very relatively cheap, $2 to $3 at Harbor Freight. But if you're in a tight spot or you need to reach longer distances with the multimeter and you need to see the screen, this will definitely help. So you can just attach that to that and attach the other end to the battery terminal wire or whatever, and you get a reading. So alligator clips definitely come in handy. Those are the essential electrical tools that I would recommend every homeowner to have. There's a bunch out there. Again, don't feel like you need to buy everything immediately. You can always collect these over time, but also look for bargains is my #1 advice. That concludes our 3rd video. Thank you for watching, and if you could click that like button and subscribe as well, I would really appreciate it. All right, on to the next one, and we'll see you later.